Absolutely. So my firm is Eagle Law. My undergrad is from Auburn University, which we're the War Eagle, Auburn Tigers, all that stuff. But it's actually called Eagle Law from a biblical perspective because life brings ebbs and flows, ups and downs, mountains and valleys. And, for me, I've always looked at it from, Lord, replenish me like the eagle, allow me to soar, like an eagle. So I named the firm Eagle Law because it's all about resilience in life, not perfection, not everything always going great, but about resilience and the bounce and the bounce back. My practice areas are areas that I love. With law there are 100 different things that you can practice, but for me, I focused on the areas that I had experience in from a business perspective because I bring a very strong business background, and also things that I'm passionate about personally. So my firm, first of all, it begins with guardian ad litem. And a guardian ad litem is a representative primarily for the child, or it could be, for someone else of need that can't fully represent themselves. But years ago, in 4 years, I sat on the board of a foster care home. And that was a life-changing experience. And although I'm the mom of one, I'm the oldest of 9 siblings. And what I realized by being a member of that foster care board was that children can come into foster care for a lot of different reasons. You can have both parents, deceased at the same time, or one before the other, or they're left without parents, or it could be abuse. It could be a lot of different things. But what I realized was I had the ability through my negotiating skills over the years to take what was a volunteer opportunity and actually make that into a second career by becoming a helpful advocate for children and on the child dependency side. In addition to that, I practice within the business areas that are important to me. So contract law, I love contracts. That's how I've spent 20 plus years of my career. Contract law, small business law, as someone I've owned a restaurant, I've owned other small businesses, helping others go through that process. I also have a strong passion for wills and trusts, especially as minorities. And when we look at the transfer of property and making sure that there is generational wealth being built. A lot of people think that, hey, they have to have $50,000 or something before they look into wills and trusts. No, if you have a child, if you have property, if you have anything of value, these are areas that you should be looking into. And also under the same space as contracts, I also do prenuptial and postnuptial agreements as individuals, married later in life, as you've accumulated more on your own and then you partner with someone, or if you have children and you're going into a marriage situation, how are you looking at your assets? And it's not a lack of love or distrust of love. It's just, smart business practice, like insurance or anything else, to make sure that everyone is mindful of the fact that marriage itself is a legal contract. And while it encompasses love and it's because of love, you also want to make sure that there are other documents in place as well.
Well, it sounds like you said before, of the large universe of law, you've got your key and essential areas, some of which are an extension of the work you've already done. And some of it is probably through your own discovery and being aware that, hey, if this was an area of concern for me, it's going to be an area of concern for other people.